Okay. So we're talking about this. We're another Saturday Night Live Zoom here Q&A, and we're just discussing a little bit about GANs. This is a plasma device designed a while ago, and we activate it with 432, and because 432 is divine nine, number of creation, and there's no time space when you use 432. We found it's a carrier wave way back then, but now we understand it's plasma. There's no time space with plasma, so you can access it. It doesn't matter where you are in the universe if you understand how that works.
I played my 432 today.
Awesome. But yeah, so there's GANs materials in there. There's coils wound in a certain way, so we can drive the frequency of 432 into it, and I can leave it running all day long. We did many experiments with these things, and it's pretty amazing. One thing that we did, which I wish everybody can try. We've never tried this remotely, but I have in my home, for the pipe coming into the house, the water pipe, I installed a vortex. So all the water that comes through my house gets vortexed. I was into water a lot.
Yeah.
And that just doing that, it's only a small pipe. Just doing that, it gets rid of, I can't remember what it was, like 70% of chlorine. It converts everything. Because as you implode water, it cleans it. This is how nature works. Tornadoes, everything's clean. It works by spinning and by interacting with other fields. This is how everything works in the universe. Everything has flow. So with this water coming in, already when it's going through that pipe, it's a lot better than it came into the house. And then I have filters, triple filter, and then back then I was, into the ionized water. So there's a lot of filters, a lot of stuff happening. I have magnets also on my pipes. The first thing I have is magnets. Magnets help erase memory. Because I think I've mentioned on the board a few times that that's one of the ways they program us, through the water supply. And bottled water is a big one.
Yeah.
So that's why everybody's drinking bottled water, right? Marketing, they know what they're doing.
They do.
Water. So, we magnets, the best way I found with magnets, let's see here.
Do you use the donut magnets?
Well, before I didn't understand about the donuts, but any magnet will do. If you're going to buy magnets, it's better to get the donut ones. Mm-hmm. So these are the Neo donut ones. There's a whole bunch here.
Yeah.
Pull one off. So it's got tape on it, but that's a Neo magnet.
Yeah. Neo magnet. Okay.
Yeah, they're very strong. That's why they put these plastics here, so you can, here, there's a better view of it.
Okay.
It's a donut magnet, but they come in all different shapes and sizes and stuff. So if you have a Neo magnet, I also have a lot of ceramic magnets, big ones and stuff. I used to have, they're all over the place. But what you do is, if you have a glass of water, a bottle of water, what we found, we did a lot of dowsing and stuff to figure out what would be the best way to get rid of memory. And what we discovered was, if you put the south positive pole on the water, so if that's the south part, you need a compass to find out which side is which. And you put it on the liquid in your water or whatever for about 15-20 seconds. Then you turn it around and you put the north side, and you leave that for at least 30 seconds to a minute. We found that it pretty much erases all the memory of the water.
Awesome. And
then you can put in there whatever you want. And what we were doing back then, we were playing with different frequencies. And 432, it's amazing. You can do it with a tuning fork, right? As a 432, yeah. You can do it with a tuning fork. You get your tuning fork on your water, and that's all you need to do. Or you can play 432 tone to your speakers and put in front of your speaker. It doesn't matter. Frequency's frequency. We were playing with lights, and we were some amazing stuff happening with lights. When I was a kid, I made a strobe light, like a discotheque thing. And I found a way to do it pretty simply. I would put a 12-volt light bulb from a flashlight hooked up straight to the speaker wires from the amp, and it would, if you put enough juice of the amp through it, it would flash with the music. So remembering that from when I was a kid, I'm going, wow, what happens if we put 432 through it? I wish I could show you guys. We had some pretty amazing things happen, and when we were filming it, we would see tons of orbs flying around the light. It's just amazing. But the color of the light, when you put regular power to it to light at 12 volts, and then we did it with the 432 frequency through an amp, it was a total different feeling in the look of the light, everything. And what I had, we used to have gatherings every week here. Every Wednesday, friends, we would come and we would pig out on different raw foods every Wednesday after yoga. And one night I had set up the light near the table and I had it on. And everybody's, wow, like, so we're going on and on and on, for a few hours there. And then I decided I better go turn it off. The amp is getting hot. I didn't say anything. I went downstairs and I turned it off because I have the amp downstairs. The wire is going in my kitchen. And as soon as I turned it off, I heard everybody go, oh, what'd you turn it off for? Like it was all I wanted. It was like
I could feel it.
It was funny. It makes you feel really good. And then what we found is one of my friends was going to martial arts before I was going. And he had gone to martial arts that night. And he said that night he was not doing anything out of the ordinary, but everybody was complaining he was hurting them. He had more power into him. After we started doing some more research, we tested it, and you energize yourself with this, and you'll outperform in any athletic things you're doing. It gives you that extra edge. But it was really amazing. Just looking at this light, 432. So, we played with a lot of things with that, and it's a lot of fun. And I was getting into the water. You can energize water. This is what we were doing back then. We don't drink water anymore. It's ridiculous. But you can make your tea with it.
Right.
So another time I play with ozone a lot, right? Ozone, we understand, it's also a form of plasma. So I used to do a lot of ozonating water. So one day I ozonated a liter of water. I put a lot of ice in it because when you ozonate cold water, it holds the ozone much better. Heat destroys ozone. So if you heat up the water, ozone dissipates and is gone. So I put the ice in it. I ozonated it. I don't remember how long it was. 5-10 minutes, not long. And then I decided, what happens if I energize it with our toy? So we energized it with the thing, right? And then I took a drink of the water, and I'm shaking my head. And I took another drink, and what actually happens is the water actually disappears. You don't even feel it. And then I go downstairs, and because there's some friends were over.
You mean it turns into a gas, or?
I can't explain. We called it the disappearing water.
Yeah, no physical.
So I didn't say anything. I said to my couple of friends were over. I said, taste this. And they're looking at me strange. I go, what do you notice? It disappears. I go, so I'm not going crazy. And both of them agreed. And then we tested it with a few other people a few other times, and it's just amazing. It disappears. It's just gone. Like you're trying to drink it, and it doesn't go down your throat. It's gone before it goes down your throat. Like I wish you guys can try this. I've never tried this remotely. So we can test it remotely if you have an ozonator. You get some cold water, ozonate it 5-10 minutes, and then you play my video on it and see if it works that way. I don't know. I've never tried it that way.
Okay, I have
should
an
work.
ozonator, so yeah, score.
It should work, but it's pretty amazing. If it doesn't, then it has to be hit with the actual matter state. But I'm pretty sure it should be able to work with going, with the video because I think I've talked about this before. We were able to send the scent of rose. We were doing the Divine Water Project back then for a few months, and we were always energizing people's water at the start of the class. So I would turn on the device and we'd have a blessing for water, and everybody would be blessing either whatever they're drinking. Some people are drinking coffee or whatever. And everybody would notice a difference. Didn't matter where they were on the planet, just like you're, watching the video and playing it and energizing things. So one day, without saying anything, my friend was downstairs. We were both doing a class together, and I had put in the bottle of rose oil on top, and I didn't say anything. So we did the blessing, and then I said, "Okay, is everybody taste the water, everything?" And then I go, "Everybody notice the difference?" Yeah. And then I said, "Does anybody smell anything?" And right away, one guy on the radio, right on the internet, "Rose! I smell rose!" And the other guy pipes in, "My coffee smells like flowers." And I'm just laughing my head off. I go, "We just discovered smell-o-vision."
Yeah.
So,
It all makes sense.
yeah, so it's pretty amazing what you can do when this is what happens. Basically, we're tapping into the emotion of these things, and there's no time space when you do that, and it's just amazing. The more people you do concentrate on these things, the more power to it. But like right now, this thing is on, and I can I'm getting energized just by being around it when it's on. I don't know if you guys can feel it. The best way to tap into plasma is give to it what it needs, and in return, it will give you many times more. So it allows you to receive when you start giving. This is the way basic plasma science, the understanding is. First, we have to give. That's how creation is, right? We're giving, and then you can receive. So you can play with these things. It's all controlled by your intent and emotion. That's all. Everything is, and we can have some fun that way. That's all Masterfast is. It's intent and emotion. We just use the things of matter to drive the intent and emotion through them, so we can allow people to benefit that way. But the other thing, my friend this spring, and that's what I was starting to talk about that. What he did was he planted a garden, and he put the seeds in water, right? A few minutes, and he energized it with our device. That's all he did. His plants went nuts. Mm-hmm. He had everything grew amazing. He said he even put some in a bad part of the land where it's not good soil. Even them, they grew. He goes, it was incredible, the difference. Just that's all he did. So we have the GANs. You can do it with the GANs. People have been playing with the GANs. 432, it's part of creation. It's all intertwined plasma. You're bringing it back to balance. That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing. With the research they did on seeds, even GMO seeds, with the GANs, it reverts back to its original state. The original tests they did on wheat, it grew like 4 or 5 heads out of one stem, and it would continue growing the next year. It did pretty crazy things by just soaking the seed in GANS water. When I did my garden, I bought plants, the already grown, sprouted, and I fed them. I didn't get the same thing. I had my zucchini grow like crazy, but other things didn't grow really well. you need to energize the seed to get the best results. That's the best way to do it. It'll help anything. Like you give it to your house plants, and you'll see a difference. It doesn't matter what it is, but to get the best results is best to soak your seeds in it, and they don't need much time. A few minutes, whatever, overnight, whatever you want to do. Some depending on the seeds. The bigger ones, they usually like a sunflower seed. Better to soak it a little bit longer. But this is what we're playing with. We're playing with energy. And this is a whole new world to all of us. It's unlimited what you can do. It's only limited to your imagination. There's some people that were playing with spraying the GANS water on all their windows in their home, and they were saving on energy. The house felt more comfortable, so they can lower their furnace. It's spray your bed and put some of the water in your clothes when you're washing them, so your clothes have the energy. Did you see Tom's post I shared?
I did. I saw that.
Dominica?
Amazing.
Yeah. This is what we're talking about. Peace, balance, and correct conduct is what we have to focus on to put humanity in that direction, because there's too much garbage out there, and we are the ones that are going to change that, because our intent and emotion, when you're focused on that, nothing can overpower that. No amount of evil or whatever you want to call it can overpower it. It's just eventually it has that ripple 100th monkey syndrome effect, whatever you want to call it, where, like I said, people be carrying guns and they don't know what it is. They just drop it. There's no purpose for it. It just does not become part of your consciousness anymore. It's gone. There's no reason for any of that. It just doesn't exist. This is where we want to go, and this is what Massive Fast is all about. Cleansing ourselves. It's part of the deprogramming. That's all it really is.
Yeah.
And some of us that have been here for a while starting to understand. You're not going to be doing one fast and you're going to be all healed and everything.
I can attest to that.
It's a lifestyle. We've taught this from the beginning. We've just made it much more clear over time, because I thought everybody had a basic understanding of what I share. But, just like we had to write out all the many options, they were always there. The colon cleansing, it's always there. Shared it before when people were in trouble. So now it's written out so more people can say, oh, okay. I guess especially people not coming from cleansing backgrounds or fasting backgrounds, they just don't have the understanding. It's okay. So now it's all written out, and we'll keep expanding and more as we learn more and more from each other, because we've learned quite a bit. Like if you hear me talking from when I started sharing and you hear me talk now, it's completely different. I couldn't start sharing what I'm sharing now back then. People thought I was crazy just on cooked juice for many, many, many months. I was getting bashed almost every single day on the cooked juice thing, especially from the raw food world. And I was one.
Well, that's still happening, but
yeah, not as much, but because they can right now they can tell you, yeah, okay. What about all these testimonies? Everybody's lying, whatever. It doesn't last long. You know what I mean? That means they're calling all of us liars. It's okay. They can do that, and that's where they're at. No big deal. But it had to go that way, and I couldn't start sharing everything all at once. But little by little, we're bringing out more and more, and what it's really all about. It's all about energy, peace, balance, and correct conduct. That's all it's about. There's nothing else out there. If we can't support each other on this planet and bring this place back to peace, we're doomed. So I don't have the vision for doom. I have the vision to solve the problem here, because there's so many of us now that are focused on this. Just on our little page, that's a huge number, making an effect on the rest of the planet. It's massive.
There's 24,000 on the page, right?
Yeah.
So I wonder how many people are really following.
Well, there's quite a bit active members, and they have this stat thing now, and there's like 16,000 active members following posts in it. It's hard to believe, because where are they all right? Not everybody's but people are reading. So, there's a lot going on, but we've had so many people going on and off Masterfast over these, 2.5 years. It's just, a lot of people have done it. And there's so many more that we don't even know about that are not even, they just take the information and run and they just don't have no interest in sharing, which is whatever, that's where they're at. But it's sad because they can heal so much more if they share. You have to open up the plasma.
Yeah, because the emotions are the toughie. So
we need to share. Everybody sharing, it comes back to you. It has to go that way. You can't just take and take and take. You can, but you're only going to go wherever you're going to go, and you're not going to be able to expand on that. So we encourage everybody to share. That's why we do these weekly Zooms, and it's Wednesday, and have the board. And this is the only way I've ever seen it work. I haven't seen any other pages in all the clubs, in all the Facebook pages I've been through for many, many, many years in alternative health. I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So
I haven't had a chance to share this on the group yet, but the last 10 days or 2 weeks, I forget how long it's been now, but I've had a fantastic release out of my lungs.
Awesome.
I mean, it's just been fantastic. And
this is your second long fast.
It was on my goal list for both of them, but this time it's coming true. So,
see how deep you got to dig?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's only my left side that's really kind of clearing. But I had to tell you that my husband started doing chest percussions on me.
Okay.
It's helped tremendously. And when he started doing my left lower lobe, I could feel it cough right out. It was amazing. Like it was a direct tube from my left lower leg or left lower lung to my to get it out. It was just.
Make yourself 2 pads.
Okay. My pain pads, yeah.
Yeah. You can use paper towel, or you can use cloth, a natural cloth with no chemicals on it or anything, no colors. Get one about that size, and get one about half the size. So you make 2 of them.
Okay.
And put your zinc in one and put your CO2 in another. And I would think make the bigger one the zinc, and the smaller one the CO2, and put one in the front and one in the back, and use them about an hour a day. And if you want, you can do that 2-3 times a day, but don't leave them on all day. What that does is it trains the body to reactivate its function plasmatically to do its work. So you can try that, play with it for a week and or more, and play with that. But there's also the other thing that you could do for the lungs. I bought these, but I never just got around to doing anything with them. You know the breathing oxygen things they use in the hospitals?
Yep.
This one is, how long is this one? It was a long one. I can't remember. Let's see what the length was. It was like 7. I don't remember. It was something like 10 or 15 feet long. And what we do with this, it's got the 2 ends, right, where you it's got the part that goes in your nose. Let me open this thing up. So we need to nanocoat this. It's a simple procedure. So you have the one end, and then you have your nasal end. So for a couple of feet, you don't want to nanocoat that part. You just need to nanocoat the main body of it. And how we do that is with caustic. You get yourself some lye. They have it available pretty much anywhere, like the Crystal Drano is lye. But if you can find a pure one, it would be better, 99.9%. And you put this in a container. Best to get a big plastic container, that you can put it inside. And you put the boiling water, and then you put like a teaspoon of lye, small amount. You got to do this outside or ventilate it, and be careful because you don't want to breathe in the fumes of lye. And then you leave it in there, and it gets nano coated. And then once you've done that, you wash it all off, rinse it all well, and then what you do is that means your jar is nano coated, and this is nano coated. You want to use plastic because we want to nano coat it. And then you put it back in, and you fill it with your CO2 and zinc oxide water. You mix them half and half and put it in there. Here he goes. Ready? You fill it up with your liquid plasma water of GANs, zinc, and your CO2, and then you need a fish tank pump. Guys, I'm on a live call. Hello, I'm on a live call. So where was I? You fill up your jar with the container. You might have to put some weight on it and string it like a stone or something to keep the hose in the water. And then you put one of these ends here to a fish tank pump to blow air through it, because you can't breathe through all that length. So you need something to push the air through. And
the length is because it's all nano coated, and you want to.
So what we're doing is we're going to be breathing in the fields of the plasma water, right? Okay. The CO2 and the zinc oxide. The CO2 is for energy transfer and some emotion, but the zinc is really for emotion. And then we just breathe it for 15 minutes a day, at least 15 minutes a day. Maybe 18 is a better number.
Just talking about it's making me cough. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, a real heavy smoker that was always coughing, smoker's cough. He started doing this. He stopped coughing.
Okay, I never smoked, but back in the day when I was programmed, I did the steroidal asthma breathing.
Oh, okay, that's all coming out. I had bronchitis twice when I was 15 and 17 years old, and they gave me all kinds of antibiotics.
Yeah.
And when I think I mentioned this, I had a really major lung detox in my 5th year on raw foods. During the day, I would be just like this. Yeah. And nobody could see I was sick. I wasn't sick. I was detoxing. But at night, I'd go to bed and wake up about 3 in the morning, the lung hour, and start coughing my brains out for over an hour. I had a friend living with me, and he thought I was dying because this went on for 5 weeks. I literally had to put a bucket beside my bed because there was so much mucus coming out. The Kleenexes were not enough, and I must have filled that pail in those 5 weeks. It was a lot.
Another question that I have. I sometimes swallow the crap that I'm coughing up, and oh my gosh, that's horrible, right?
Yeah, it's people wanted to go like that. No, the best way to cough up mucus is like you have to bring it up through your stomach. Not the regular way, but
and that's the only way I can get it up is to cough just like that.
Yeah, it's I don't know how to explain it, but it's a different way to bring it up, and you'll be able to bring it up. You'll if you practice, you'll be able to do it. And that's the way you get rid of mucus out of the lungs, because as it's dislodging, you got to get it out. If you swallow it, it's going to come, go out of you, through you again. But if you can get it out through the mouth, it's better.
Okay.
The body's going to get rid of it. It's loosening up. It's all old crap that's starting to loosen up and break up. Needs to come out.
Oh yeah. And then I have one more question, then I'll stop bothering the panel.
No, this is what we're here for.
I'm on day 92, I think, so I'll be breaking soon. And I kind of went back and forth, should I break or not, because I have so much more to clean up. But I am going to break, and I'm going to use watermelon. But I'm going to go right to the weekly. So do watermelon that day, and I'm just going to do a little, and then go right back to the juice again, correct?
Yeah, eat for that day that you're eating. Eat that day. Don't if you're doing 1 day a week food, don't concern yourself about dry fasting for that day. Just eat. Even if you eat 3 or 4 meals or whatever, just
That
eat.
sounds
Enjoy
like a
it.
lot right now.
Yeah. So the other mistake some people do when they break their fast, they'll eat a really small amount. You don't want to stuff yourself, but you need to eat enough so the body can push it through. And then the next key, you're going to need to be clearing the bowels the next day after you eat.
Okay.
You
So,
don't
but I
have
do wait till the next day. I don't start because I know what's going to happen in my mind. I'm going to, after I eat it, I'm going to feel like I made a mistake and I put it in my body and now I want to get it out right away. So I'm afraid I'll start doing enemas right away and I don't want to do that, right?
Yeah, no, you want to get it out. Get it
But
out
not till the next day.
next day.
Yeah, but not that day, right?
No, not that day. You may have bowel movement that day. Like when I break fasts, especially longer ones, I'm usually in the can within an hour.
I don't know. My digestion is still very bad.
It's
So
okay. Keep working at it. Don't say that. Just keep working at it. Whatever. I'm right now. Right now, I'm on the colon protocol. I started Tuesday, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 4th day. It's amazing
power.
protocol.
Yeah, I love it. I
Protocol.
only did it for 4 days, but I love it.
Yeah, this go for like 9 days or 8 or 12 or 18.
I thought about going all the way until the end of my 108,
Hey,
but
go for it. It's powerful.
yeah, it is.
Because we're dry, but we're just washing, and it just draws everything going down through that way.
And I swear my filtration, my kidney filtration is better when I do the colon feeding. I don't know how that could be, but
Well, you were basically we're dry, but we're just using the water to wash through down that area. So we're gonna absorb some of the fluid that we're taking in, and because you'll notice you'll be peeing more than on a dry fast.
yeah.
But it's powerful, very powerful program.
Filtration is so awesome now too. I'm just so many things have happened during the 108 that are just fantastic. So filtration is on point. It's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Cool. Yep. It's happening.
It just gets better and better, Sandy. Each time we get into it, but we need to live it. This is why get into the weekly, get into what are the other minis, whatever. We it's part of our lifestyle. Like I said, this is we're living on light, and we eat when we occasionally for joy. This is the way we have to look at it.
I have that written on my refrigerator.
Yeah, food and healing, whatever. Yeah, people will claim that there's nothing that heals except the body. There's nothing that hydrates except the body. That's really where we're going, because that's really the truth of the matter. This is the way we're designed, and we've just been duped to believe everything else. We have a Rana 63 here. Can you hear me? No, we can't hear you, Rana. Are you still on here? Maybe she left. Oh, she left probably. Yeah. So just continue. What day are you on, Sandy?
92, I think.
Oh,
92,
okay.
92.
And how was this one compared to your last one?
Easy as can be. My last one, my husband can justify or testify to this because I was sick the entire time.
Oh, you weren't sick.
Okay,
Your body was doing a lot of work.
You're right, and it was working. But this one's been easy, and I haven't lost that much weight. On the first one, I lost 32 pounds. This one, I lost 10.
Okay, so what are we teaching? Your body's going to let go of what it doesn't want or need, and it's going to dump it. And once you've gone to skin and bones, like some of us have gone, it's not going to happen again. If you continue on a clean lifestyle, and you continue this part of your life, it's not going to happen. Look how many people have been through it. Have even started skin and bones, and Michelle and Artie. They're not skin and bones, and they don't lose weight, just like you're in your cycle. You're not going to. Your body starts producing its own energy, starts producing its own hydration. As long as we stay away from water and stay away from food.
Sandy, did you do less dry fasting this time?
Did I do less? No, I'm still doing, but I'm not. I never did work up to very long hours, but doing 24 to 36 every week, and then my 17-hour daily. And then the monthly is really around 36 or 48 too.
Mm. And the first round with the master fast, did you do same?
I tried to do the longer, and I got 50 is my longest I've ever reached.
Okay, so you were doing more dry fasting back then.
I was doing more dry fasting, and I was
you
doing
will lose
more,
less weight.
yeah, I was doing more on the dailies, and that I finally realized, okay, let that go. And because I was trying to get to like 20 hours, and it was silly.
So you were doing 20 hours in your first master fast? 20 hours a day. Yeah. No wonder you lost a lot of weight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I let it go.
It's
So
the dry fast. I
it
find the
wasn't
same
every day, but I just thought, I don't know. I had it in my head that I had to do this, so I did it. And
And what about the how much juice do you drink? Do you drink the same as before or more now?
no, actually now that it's this in my 90s, or actually in my 80s too, I'm having a hard time drinking my 2 liters.
Yeah.
Not a hard time, but it's just.
Yeah, it's just you don't want it.
No,
What about the first time? You also had 2 liters?
no, I would drink 3 sometimes. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, once
But
you
within 4 hours, you would drink 3 liters? Within 4 hours? Because you had dry fasting.
It just depended. No, because it's true, because on my first one, I did have the tendency to drink too fast.
Oh.
And so I don't think that helped my not feeling well either. But so I've just slowed everything down now. And now I drink out of my straw, and yeah, it's just so much easier. I don't know.
learning process.
Yeah, but I find that, for the weight loss, I find that when I do more dry fasting, I lose a lot faster in weight.
Yeah.
I still lose weight when I do the master fast, and it's just way faster with longer dry fasting. And it's, I think, a good thing to do for people who are losing too much too fast. Slow down with the dry. So take it easy with the dry, because some of us, there are people who used to do 10-day dry fasting inside the master fast, and they lost a lot of weight. You just don't want to do that. Not inside the master fast. You're going to lose a lot of weight too fast.
Well, and so, like I said, I hadn't really lost that much this time.
That's good.
But I'm, like today I was 102. And so I'm okay with that. That's wonderful. But I do still have some very strange fat deposits on my body. So, and I'm wondering if I'm not losing weight, so that'll eventually just go, like on my tummy and some on my arm.
The body is doing whatever we want to trust. I mean, I remember when I did the 108, I was so small, but then in my belly there was like something still in there, like I'm like, and everybody is telling me, oh no, you're so small. But then I showed them my belly and it's bulging out. It's small, but it's bulging out. I'm like, what? But when you see the mucoid plaque that comes out, even at day 108, you're like, okay, so there's something inside.
Right.
Yeah.
Another thing with my BMs, there is no more, like on my first 108, it was all of the, I hate to say it, stringy, disgusting
mucus
wrapped around everything. Now I don't have that anymore. I don't have
it.
You clean most of it out. Now it's just the real deep stuff that's really stuck is what's coming out.
It's the chemicals. It's everything else. Yeah. It's phenomenal. I'm loving it. So.
Well, you look great. You look really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So do you. So, okay. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, once you do 108 days, you got a lot of crap that the body shed. Your body's going to work way more efficient if as long as you're, maintain a little bit of clean eating and stuff, because all that stuff has been years and years and years of built up. Even if you didn't eat that great, it's not gonna you're not gonna build all that crap up even in a year's time. So when you go into the second one within a year or so, the body's gonna be much more efficient. That's why you don't lose the weight. You feel better. You can drink less. But the newbies, they're getting in trouble. That's why we've changed the protocol. They're trying to do things that people have been fasting for years to do, and it's not going to happen. You're going to get in trouble. You're going to dry yourself out. The body's not able to hydrate itself when it's full of garbage. It's not happening. You got to remove the garbage before the hydration starts happening. And this is the learning process. So that's why we cut it back to, for newbies, 12 or 15 hours max, and they got to drink at least 2 liters a day minimum. Otherwise, you're going to get in trouble. It's not hard to get in trouble. We've had too many people, one too many, getting themselves in trouble, just drying themselves right out. Not a good place to be, and having to pull out of that. But every time you go into one of these long ones, even if you do like short ones, 30 days here, 30 days there, or 40 days, it's going to be a different experience every time. And it's just awesome. You just dwell and tap deeper within. The experience is going to reveal it all. It doesn't matter how much we talk about it. Until you actually experience it, you don't know. And this is, we're trying to convey that message, and then I get all the slack from people that have no clue coming out of a long fast. What's that it takes time to rebalance the body. We're gonna change it. It takes at least twice as long as the fast to find balance. At least twice as long. To put it in a better perspective, you got to give the body time. It's gone through a massive metamorphosis, and now there's another metamorphosis coming out, which, few understand this. Few understand. And it just continues. If we live this lifestyle, the metamorphosis continues happening at every different level. The oldest bone in our body is the femur. 9 years, I think. Everything else, changes quickly. Skin, we're losing so much a day and blah, blah, blah. But awesome stuff is happening with people that have made it part of their life. I remember where you started, Sandy.
Yeah, I was a sick puppy.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, and there's something else that my eating during my interim was okay in the beginning, and then I just kept letting it go, and I tried to get back on the master fast so hard, and I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, you're emotionally not ready.
No, I wasn't. And then my neuropathy came back. I don't want to call it neuropathy. My numbness came back, and that scared me straight. So I just went right back on, and now it's all resolved again.
Yeah, it's going to take time to fix all those things. The body's going to do the things that it feels that they're most important first, and all kinds of changes happen. But we need to just learn to trust and keep the faith and just keep going, because what else are you going to do? Eat?
Right. It takes time mainly for the emotions to be in balance. The body doesn't it can switch and fix itself in no time, but it's our emotions when we go back to eating. What's your plan for when you're done with this one?
I am going to break with watermelon, and then just the one day, and then go right to the weekly.
Oh.
We're not telling everybody to stop eating completely. We're telling live the lifestyle of less is more. Train your body with less. And when you eat, enjoy it, but eat much less.
Discipline. A little bit of discipline at the beginning.
Maximum. I'm eating. 4 days a week is maximum for me.
Well, I'm kind of thinking. Okay, so I'm only going to be eating 1 day a week. So
try fasting every day.
So I probably should just I'm going to do watermelon, and I may just do watermelon for a while, or some kind of melon. So for 4 weeks, or
I would say the protocol will say the first week you have the fruit. I mean, if you can keep the fruit, Yeah, and then the second week you can add the salad if you want. So fruit always.
But were you
Then you can add the salad.
Already?
are you going straight into the weekly, or are you breaking it?
I'm gonna do one day of watermelon, but I don't know if
So
I
straight.
don't know. And then go right to the week. So then go back to Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay.
See how that goes.
Yeah. So,
If you,
I could
if
do
you
salad the second week. Wow, that's blowing my mind.
yeah,
yeah.
if emotionally you need to have a few more days, a week or two of eating or whatever, don't worry
Okay.
about it, because you know
Because
what happens.
you're going to be digging deep even with the weekly. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. You want to try and see how and tell us, share with us the information. But
Okay.
maybe just do the second week if you want the salad or raw soup. Maybe add that after you have a nice meal of fruit. Then you can have the vegetables and see how you feel. And if it's heavy for you, then let us know. So maybe we will extend it more for Masterfast weekly after a long Masterfast.
It's gonna
Okay,
be a bit different after a long one for sure.
My plan was to do persimmons. I picked those a couple months ago. Forget it. That sounds too heavy right now. I can't even imagine.
I love persimmon.
What did you do with them? There's
Oh,
Yeah.
I put them in the freezer.
Oh yeah, I remember them.
Yeah, so they're in the freezer, so they won't be as delicious, but still good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they would fall.
All right. Well, that's okay. So with my personality, I was getting ready to just follow it to a T. So I just need to learn to kind of let it all go. And if I want to eat on Tuesday and maybe again on Friday, that's okay.
Yeah, don't you after 100 days, just be easy on yourself. Don't worry about
Yeah, 1 to 2 days a week is good.
Okay.
If
Well,
you
I
can
was
do
so,
1 day, it's even better.
no, I'm sorry. I was so convinced that I had healed my digestion after my first 108 because it was good for about a month maybe. And then it all went downhill again. So
it depends what we eat.
Well, I didn't know if maybe I still had more. I was just detoxing so much out of, and I was still keeping up with my enemas, and I still did the pudding, and I don't know. So anyway, I ended up.
it takes what it takes. It takes what it takes.
So the first month was good, and then after that, it wasn't that great.
No, and I was good because I had so much trouble with my ankles, feet and ankles and lower legs swelling, and then my belly was swollen too. So it kind of forced me to like be a really good girl for a long time. And then actually when that started to resolve, then my emotions took over, but it probably took a good 2-month period before I started. I think I had an avocado, and I think I had some seeds, and I think I had so I can't remember now, but
How about overeating? Did you overeat?
for sure.
Yeah, all that stuff, the whole thing.
I did.
Yeah.
It made me it was shocking to witness myself doing that because I'd never really, I know I'm good with it now, but back then I'm just.
Somebody was saying, I think Mona Marie was saying in the on the Facebook page, it's like having a mental. You heard that, right? You read that, right?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Like a mental patient being loose, free to go out and they go crazy. This is how we are when we start eating after a long fast. We just
Talk
can't
about
control ourselves.
in our heads because it was constant chatter. Like you can eat that. You can go ahead and eat those olives. You can do that. You can do that.
Because it just stays in your head. Yeah, it makes you crazy. So you eat it.
We are mental patients.
My goodness.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Okay, I'm ready. I think.
Yeah.
You got some experience now. You understand. It's just you just let it go and just do what you need to do. Some people they go off these long fasts, and then they go into cheat, but they cheat with the worst, most dangerous thing you can do. Like one guy went to eat the sweet potatoes for 3 days. He said he couldn't stop eating.
He broke his fast with that.
Yeah,
Oh, he ate sweet potatoes for 3 days?
in a row.
Yeah, the first 3 days after a 40-day dry fast, a 40-day fast.
Steamed,
The first 3 days.
Okay.
you know, okay, you want to cheat a little bit, have some steamed spinach or something.
He didn't just eat.
No, you can't go to that heavy stuff like that. You get a blockage, you're done. You're gone.
He didn't just eat. He could not stop eating.
Okay.
So he stuffed himself big time.
So we have to be wise. That's why the saying is any man can fast, but it takes a wise man to break a fast, or woman. You need to break the fast very, very prudently. You can break fast with some steamed greens or greens if you really wanted to, but they don't go through us as quick as fruit. And the key to breaking a fast is getting the residue out that the fast has loosened up. So fruit is the quickest to move through you, and that's why we choose to go fruit.
Yes.
But let's say somebody does from a sad diet, they do 30 or 40 days master fast. They may start fermenting if they break their fast with fruit. They may start fermenting because they're still plugged up. 40 days is not enough, 108 days is barely cleans out your GI tract. So 40 days, it does okay cleaning, but, it's not, it's hard to comprehend how much crap we really have within the GI tract. We just forget about it. Whatever. It's coming out beautiful. Don't even try and think about it. Oh, is this mucoid plaque? Is this that? Is it? Who cares? It's coming out. Don't worry about it. Everything's being, taken out. The body's dumping. That's all you need to know. But our intellect wants to know this, that, and the other thing, and why, and who, where, instead of just letting it happen.
Well, the thing is, it doesn't stop.
Well,
It doesn't stop coming out.
The nose tells you that, you get all kinds of colors of the rainbow coming out, and the smell is horrific. And then your second one, I'm sure, it's like you mentioned, it's nowhere near the same smells and textures, and it's different.
Smells are different, but I'm still a stinky girl.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, it does come out deep. It comes out deep. I mean, the smell of the bile. Holy mackerel.
Some
It's
days I still
really
get.
bad.
My first 40-day fast in 1990, those smells, I can never forget them. I never had those smells again. Yeah, you get, but nowhere near like coming from a eating everything diet. It's just not the same.
Yeah.
And the textures of that stuff was like literally like the tire of a car. It was so hard. All I did back then was Concord grape juice. I ended up in bed for 2 years, but this is mucoid plaque. Yeah, there is mucoid plaque. Believe it or not. You want to live in denial? It's okay. Live in denial. We've seen it come out of long-term fruitarians. Doesn't matter what you eat. Doesn't matter how clean you eat. You got to fast.
When it comes out, you just feel so good. It's like, yeah.
Yeah. Like watch the people on the board. They're having crazy the dizziness, this, that, and the other thing, nausea. And what happens? You get a release after that. Just before you're going to have a release, because this stuff, it breaks free. And you're starting to get into circulation, and it does all kinds of weird things. So you got to get it out. You got to get out. This is why it's so crucial to keep washing the colon over and over and over. Enemas, colonics, colemas.
I don't know how it's connected. I'm sure it's just the energy. But once I had my lungs, my left lower lobe clean out, or I don't know if it's totally clean, but once I had that, my thyroid, I've had my thyroid swollen since the beginning of September, I think. It's gone down so much just in the last few days.
Look at what it's taking, Sandy.
Amazing.
When did you start? What your first fast?
My very first fast?
Yeah.
November 29th. So I'm going to be on
2015?
16.
2016.
So just a year ago.
So it's a year ago.
My first long one. I started in August, but then I did like 27, and then I did many short ones. But my long one was November 29th, 2016.
Yeah. So you're on your second 108 days, almost complete. I'm still telling you just started.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah. Have you done casserole packs on your lungs?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. My husband's laughing. He's like, I always have the castor on. I'm always going, what do you want it on?
Try the paint pads now that you have the GANs materials, and that's nice to use.
Yeah.
It's powerful stuff.
Yes.
My friend Giovanni's restored his daughter's brain damage with plasma. Not changing any diet.
So great. I don't know. It's just wonderful.
Yeah, a completely broken hip, completely mended. You can't even tell where it is. You need to understand where we're going. It's all emotion and intent. It has nothing to do with matter. And we'll get there.
Sorry, I'm going to throw in one more thing. For my lungs, the breathing, the Buteyko breathing, did phenomenal. And then my husband would do the percussions. Oh my goodness, it was just like coming out in droves.
That's what we want. We want it coming out.
It's just amazing.
Jump for joy.
Yes,
because
I do every day.
The more aggressive and worse the downs feel, the more higher the highs will be.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff comes out. You see, it's like a relief. Whoa! It's like a burst of energy. Sometimes you feel like running a marathon.
Yeah.
And this is what it's all about,
It's great.
Inside all this physicality that we're dumping, there's all emotions attached to it as well. This is why we say, even when you have these emotional things, enemas, even if you see clear water coming out, there's still emotions coming out with that water. So it's lots of fun when we see people metamorphosize. Look at how many transformations we see, just magical things happening. It blows me away every time. It's awesome. People can resonate with different people going through different things, but if we keep this the whole principle of what we're doing, keep it simple. Simple, imbalance and balance. Really, that's all we need to know. Learn about how to use all the tools and support and keep things flowing, keep moving, keep doing the breath work with less breathing as well. And you can't fail if your intent and emotion is true. You can't fail. It's just going to happen. How long? I don't have the answer. But 9 years is a good number. You're only in 1 year, Sandy. Just imagine another 4 or 5 years. It just gets better and better and better. Lisa, you're on your second. Unmute.
It's a little bit loud by me right now, so I'm not gonna talk too much right here. I've got company with me.
Okay. Yeah, but the experience is different in your first, right?
I'm sorry, it's hard to concentrate. You said my experience what?
Compared to your first, it's a different experience?
Totally different, yeah. Like night and day, practically. In the best way possible. So.
It's this is what happens. Every one will be different. If you do a shorter one, 30, 40 days, it's going to be a different experience, and it's a beautiful thing to tap into the depths of our soul. I find it for most people, it's much easier to connect to our soul through physical cleanses, but fasting is included, of course. There's people who are able to do it, through whatever diet, and it's far and few I've seen, far and few. But once you get into cleansing the physical body, you're also cleansing the emotional body. They go hand in hand, and it's a beautiful revelation for everybody that goes through it. It's just magical. Look at we have so many transformations. I can't keep up anymore. I've saved many of the ones that I have in the testimonial files, but there were so many more small ones and other ones, and it's just crazy stuff. It's just amazing. Beautiful, beautiful experiences people are going through. And the ones who don't stick around, too bad for them. They just don't have the understanding what we're teaching. They just don't want to make it work. And the main thing is they're just not ready to heal. It's too shocking when they have the confrontation to their soul. Their emotions are just too painful of what they've lived, and they have to hide it again. So they go back to the food and they point fingers. And I wish they would stick around and ask for help, because the ones that bashing are these people that we've never heard from them. They're asking for help, and they don't stick with it. And it's just, we can't help if they don't ask for help. This is what the page is for, to help people go through these times, because many, many of us have gone through these. I've experienced so much. It's hard for people to comprehend what I've experienced. But that's why I can help people. And everything I've been through has been a blessing. You know, I destroyed my health to gain an understanding, but it's okay, because now the physical health stuff, I've done that. That's not my interest anymore. You know, to grow my hair back, okay, whatever. It can be done, but that's not my interest. My interest is peace, balance, and correct conduct, connection with soul. That's all my interest is. And helping others go that route, because there's a lot of interest these days, as we can see. People who have the same philosophy to go down that route. So we can, you know, make that, make the change on this planet. It's time. My mother said, she's watching the news from morning till night some days. It just drives me nuts. All you hear is a stabbing, a killing, and this and this. Like, holy jeez, man. Whoa, like Toronto's not what it used to be. I haven't watched TV in years. I threw my TV out in early 2000. Best thing I ever did. And it's just crazy what's going on out there. Just crazy. But when you change your state, you will not draw that into your being. It's just like in martial arts. Once you've mastered martial arts, you'll never use it. You'll be beaming that mastery that there's nobody's going to mess with you. That's what it's all about. You master it so you don't need it anymore. And same with the breath. We master it so we don't need the breath anymore. Even the breath we don't need. Is how can we comprehend that with our programming? It's difficult, very difficult. But once you practice this type of Buteyko type breathing, we take it a bit further. But once you practice this thing and you've done it for months, you'll start to gain an understanding. Like today, somebody called out 155 Hindu squats. Everybody's huffing and puffing, and I'm hardly breathing. You know, it's amazing. You know, and I'm not no athlete. You know, I'm doing a little bit of yoga here and there, and I'm missing days, but it's amazing what you can do when you've tapped into this less is more breathing. CO2. What is CO2? Carbon and 2 molecules of oxygen. And it's an acid. And our body manufactures it. Why does the body manufacture it? People call it waste. No, the body doesn't produce any waste. I'm going to keep saying that over and over. And we're going to change the wording as we go along. We're detoxifying obstructions, not waste. And the reason we don't produce any waste is because everything we ingest has to be converted into a GANS plasmatic state. And the body has to do that because it needs to convert it so it can utilize the fields from whatever we've eaten. Otherwise, matter doesn't get exchanged in this vacuum plasma tube. So, but the problem with physical 3-dimension heavy foods is they leave obstructions. Doesn't matter what it is. It's just the different levels of obstructions. And fruit, for the physical foods, it's the least. The next one in line is air. Air has less obstructions in food. and then we get into fields of sunlight and the subtle fields of planets and the Earth and so on and so forth, which have no obstructions. And this is the ones we really should be tapping into. I highly advise people to do a barefoot walking and stargazing at night. Be careful of walking at night barefoot, or even if you stand in the area to gain the fields, because they're much more powerful. Over here in the big cities, we can't see any stars. There's too much light in the city, but you'll still get the fields interacting. Like even if you do sun gazing and you close your eyes, you're still going to get the benefit. And the fields are going through. We have to let go of thinking matter only. We're thinking fields, and when you think fields, the whole universe opens up to you. When you think matter, you're stuck here. And you can see chemistry interchanges and this and that, but you're not getting the picture. So we have to learn to look at things beyond matter and look at things in field interactions, and we'll get a whole different meaning and understanding when we start doing that. I'm not saying I have a total understanding, but we need to look and make ourselves go that route, because the matter state is futile. You're only going to go so far. It's very limited viewing window in matter. But we can use matter, and we can use what we've learned with fields, like charging the water and this and that and the other thing, to utilize the plasma to carry that energy, which is amazing. You can charge your crystals as well with plasma. Dump them in to be charged. So there's so much you can do with it. Spray your house with it. Spray the walls, spray the windows, spray your car. What happened with Tom in Dominica is magical. It's just magical. Everything was destroyed except his property that he sprayed. Everything around. Just awesome stuff. And we have people that are looking for free electricity. If you want that, that's what you can do, but this is not what plasma is all about. Plasma is the basics of our creation, basic principles of creation. And it's how everything's created in matter, and how everything's created in the universe is through field interactions of plasma. So let's learn to tap into that wisdom, because it's just a remembering. We all have it. It's just that we've been programmed to be numbed out and not remember it. And if we allow children, the new generations, to what's the word I'm looking for? To allow their creativity to expand without holding them back, you'll see magic happen with children. Magic. We'll be seeing. I predict we'll be seeing breatharian children being born breatharian. They won't need to eat, and they'll be teaching the rest of us, because they're utilizing fields. It'll happen maybe in our lifetime, but we're moving into a whole new realm of the light, which is going to be very, very interesting in the next several years. What's going on? What time are we at? 8:30. So, I mentioned I'm doing the MFS colon feeding protocol since Tuesday. Very, very powerful. I highly recommend everybody give it a try. Go for a week, 9 days, 18 days, whatever you can do. You can do it anytime. Very powerful. Very, very powerful. And if you can't keep anything down, it's going to save your life. Give an enema, save a life. That should be a new T-shirt or something.
Colonics to the rescue.
Yeah, If all hospitals had a colon therapist, they'd save the taxpayers millions of dollars and many, 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 many lives. Many lives. Just having a colon therapist in the hospital, an emergency. How much more simple do we want it? But, you know, then the hospital will start losing their profits. Then what's going to happen? It's crazy world we live in. Crazy world. David, you got something to say? Have we ever heard from you, David? Well, if we don't have anything else, we can call it a night. Do we have anybody next week? Scheduled?
Yeah, I think so.
We'll see what happens.
Yes, next week is said.
It's much better hearing other people. We all get inspired in me. I've talked enough.
Next week is said.
Sid, oh, okay. Awesome. Awesome. What else is happening in the Masterfast world? Well, keep playing with the plasma, folks. It works at the soul level through emotion and intent. And the more you put into it emotionally and your intent, the more you'll get out of it. We've had some amazing things happen with plasma. Amazing. And we're only going to see more and more amazing things. The other thing that we need to remember is our body, our physicality, is an again state. So, yeah, we can play with these jars and stuff, but depending on what weight you are, you know, I got 150 pounds of it right here that I can utilize with my emotion and intent. And that's what Masterfast is. So anybody can do this, and we are doing it over and over. There's many of us doing it. The understanding is something that we just need to expand. Even though sometimes we see things, it's still a challenge for us to believe on did it really work that way. And I'm here to tell you, it's all emotion and intent. All of it. As we train ourselves, you will see you'll be able to manifest things faster and faster, because you'll keep doing it over and over, and then, holy geez, yeah, okay. And it's just amazing. Like writing down your goals. That's what that is. You'd be surprised what happens if you write down all your goals. I've had things that I've written down years ago, and it just blows me away. It came out exactly some stuff that I've written down. Anyway, we'll call it a night. We're at 1.5 hours, keep it a bit shorter. And we'll see everybody either Wednesday or next week, and on the page, I guess. So, have a good evening or day or wherever you are. And we'll keep that plasma love flowing. and everybody can tap into it anytime. Make sure you put your 432 deposit every day. That is another way that we strengthen the Masterfast field, the Masterfast plasma, which has been built since day one, and it's just getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Whereas more people tap into it, we'll see more and more amazing things happen as we move along. Magic, call it magic. This is the real magic. Magic of creation. And it's just a beautiful thing to watch people getting transformed in their lives. This what keeps me going. People's stories over and over just keeps me going. So there's a purpose for all this. So many people are being helped. But don't for a nanosecond believe that the body doesn't know what it's doing, because it's the only thing that does. Anytime we get the mind in the way, it'll tell you all kinds of stuff. And I still have the chatter happen, but I have to say, what the hell are you talking about? Bullshit. you got these things, they come up, and it's just funny. It's just, okay, whatever, yeah. I'm gonna still keep going because they come up for all of us. It's in our programming, and it's a challenge to remove it completely. But when we learn to look at it from a third party, and then okay, it'll happen less and less and less. It won't happen as often. It comes up usually on the challenging times of heavy detoxes and stuff, healing reactions, and these are the times that the tools will bring us through, and the support on the page to keep us going, because it's, whatever you've done, you're feeling, 99.9% somebody else has gone through it. I've been through most of them, so it's pretty crazy, but it's fun. It's fun. It's all part of our experience, and we'll keep going, guys. So let's call it a night, and we'll see you all.
All right. Thank you, Gino. Thank you, Rana.
Good night.
Everybody, thank you.